A stark warning from Moscow reverberated across Washington on Tuesday, as former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev cautioned the Trump administration that the risk of direct conflict remains high between the United States and Russia. Russia's ready to comply with the START Treaty, which I signed in 2010. Now the Trump admin must decide. But adhering to the letter of the treaty isn't enough. The US must give up on weakening Russia with sanctions and tariffs. Otherwise, the risk of direct conflict remains high. Medvedev, now the deputy chairman of Russian President Vladimir Putin's Security Council, wrote in a post on X. The warning comes amid the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, which erupted when President Vladimir Putin launched the invasion in February 2022. The conflict has stoked fears of nuclear escalation, with Russia holding the world's largest nuclear arsenal and Russian media personalities frequently threatening potential nuclear action, while the US continues to support Ukraine through economic sanctions aimed at pressuring Moscow. The new START Treaty, originally signed in 1991 and updated in 2010, places verifiable limits on deployed intercontinental range nuclear weapons, capping each side at no more than 1,550 deployed nuclear warheads and 700 deployed missiles and bombers. The updated treaty went into effect in 2011 and has been extended through February 4, 2026, according to the US State Department. Russian President Vladimir Putin reiterated on Monday that Russia intends to honor the treaty for another year.
To prevent further escalation of the strategic arms race and to maintain a reasonable level of predictability and restraint, we believe it is justified to aim to preserve the status quo amidst the current, rather turbulent circumstances in accordance with the START Treaty. Therefore, Russia is prepared to continue adhering to the central quantitative limits for 1 year beyond 5 February 2026, as stipulated by the new START Treaty.
Putin emphasized that continued adherence will only be viable if the United States acts in a similar manner and does not take steps that undermine or disrupt the existing balance of deterrence potentials.
We believe that this measure will only be sustainable if the United States acts similarly and refrains from taking steps that could undermine or breach the existing balance of deterrence capabilities. In this regard, I urge the relevant departments to continue closely monitoring the activities of the American side.
The new START Treaty, originally signed by Medvedev and former US President Barack Obama, was heralded at the time by Obama as a demonstration of the two nations' willingness to pursue responsible global leadership. However, Russia suspended the treaty in February 2023 after Washington accused Moscow of violating key monitoring provisions related to inspections. Tensions between Russia, the US, and NATO allies have remained high. On Tuesday, President Donald Trump stated that NATO members should shoot down Russian aircraft that violate their airspace, following reports earlier this month of Russian incursions into Poland and Estonia.